What if the Bosnian Pyramids are truly the oldest man-made pyramids in the world? How would this discovery reshape our understanding of ancient civilizations and their technological capabilities? What if the discovery of the Bosnian Pyramids is just the beginning and many more undiscovered pyramids exist across the world?
Uncovered pyramids in the former Yugoslavia, the largest man-made ancient pyramids on Earth.
A mountain is at the center of a controversy. Last month, things got even more complicated.
Give me a sense of why is a guy who investigates Bosnian pyramids at a UFO conference?
Because I've been invited.
You're a PhD, you speak, you teach at a university.
Yes.
Well, is there a stigma attached to being involved with a UFO conference or this kind of?
I don't care.
Yeah.
Of course there is, but I don't care.
Because I've read about Bosnian pyramids for a while. I didn't know what to make of them. I know that the archaeological community tries to dismiss it in general.
Let's forget those bedtime stories about pyramids being tombs.
Nestled in the heart of Bosnia and Herzegovina lies the town of Visoko, where a series of hills have become the epicenter of a heated debate that intertwines archaeology, geology, and national identity. Dubbed the Bosnian Pyramids by their chief proponent, Semir Osmanagić, these formations have sparked discussions that challenge conventional understandings of history and human civilization. Lost ancient civilization, or a natural formation? In April 2005, Dr. Semir Osmanagić, a Bosnian-American businessman with a keen interest in ancient civilizations, visited Visočica Hill near Visoko. Observing its pronounced pyramidal shape, he hypothesized that it was not a natural formation, but a colossal, ancient, man-made pyramid. He christened it the Pyramid of the Sun and identified surrounding hills as additional pyramids. Osmanagić proposed that these structures were part of a vast complex built by an advanced civilization dating back tens of thousands of years. Semir Osmanagić, often referred to as the Bosnian Indiana Jones, is a figure who has garnered both admiration and criticism. Before his involvement with the Bosnian Pyramids project, he authored several books exploring ancient civilizations and extraterrestrial influences, suggesting that human history is far older and more complex than mainstream archaeology acknowledges. His assertion that the pyramids were constructed by an advanced civilization over 12,000 years ago has been met with both intrigue and skepticism. When Osmanagić first proposed the idea that the hills in Visoko were ancient pyramids, he faced strong resistance from mainstream archaeologists, government institutions, and academic circles. Many experts dismissed his claims as pseudoscience, arguing that the formations were natural geological structures rather than man-made pyramids. His excavation efforts were met with bureaucratic hurdles, including difficulties obtaining permits, opposition from local and international archaeologists, and even accusations that his work was misleading the public. Despite this, Osmanagić persisted, funding much of the research privately and attracting volunteers from around the world to continue uncovering what he believes to be one of the greatest archaeological discoveries of our time. Osmanagić and his team have cited several pieces of evidence to support their claims. Geometric precision. The hill's symmetrical shapes and alignment with cardinal points suggest intentional design rather than natural formation. Sarajevo's Geodetic Institute noted that the Pyramid of the Sun is perfectly oriented to the north, a feature commonly associated with ancient monumental structures. Man-made materials. Excavations have reportedly uncovered large stone blocks and slabs, which Osmanagić claims are constructed from ancient concrete superior to modern equivalents. Studies conducted at the University of Paris found that the concrete material on the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun was 5 times stronger than contemporary concrete, with a resistance of 94 megapascals of pressure. Joseph Davidovits, founder of the French Institute of Polymers, noted the exceptional quality of this material.
1.5 meters below the layers of soil and clay, we've been discovering so far the biggest blocks on the pyramid. The corner is missing, but originally the size was 4.5 meter by 4.5 meter, 4.5, 4 times. This was a square block. Another square block, and another one. Mother Nature does not make square blocks with artificial concrete. In this particular case, which is close to the edge of the pyramid, between the north and eastern slope, 1.5 meter below the soil, or over there 3.5 meter, we discovered more layers of artificially made concrete.
Subterranean tunnels. A network of tunnels, known as the Rovni tunnels, has been discovered beneath the hills. Osmanagich posits that these are part of an extensive underground complex associated with the pyramids. He claims that these tunnels extend for approximately 2.4 miles, 3.8 kilometers, and contain fossilized leaves dating back 34,000 years, suggesting a connection to ancient human activity.
Archaeologist from New Zealand, Tim Moon, with his crew of volunteers, discovered fossilized leaves on one of the sections, our trench number 12, between the first and second layer of block. It meant that during the construction, the builders were laying the first row of blocks, the second, the third. The wind was blowing, bringing those 2 fossilized leaves, and then they placed the final block. Those 2 fossilized leaves will give us the exact age of the structure. We did radiocarbon dating, 29,200 years plus minus 400 years. 280 meters below the top is a network of underground tunnels under the pyramid. And this entrance on the topographic map is also 280 meters below the top of the pyramid. So eventually we want to meet those tunnels below the pyramid and connect with them. On my right and on my left side we have side tunnels. They are coming at 90 degrees, forming the intersection. Now we can see on my right a drywall. Stones making very compact drywall without the binding material. And then we have the filler material, which is made from this non-compact material which consists of pebbles, rocks and sand. To my left, the same thing. Drywall, filler material and the tunnel. They are filled completely, not just a few meters, but completely, hundreds and hundreds of meters. Somebody was bringing hundreds of thousands of tons of material to close all those tunnels. And then a few meters after that, we have an interesting block. The block was discovered in the year 2006, and interesting why? Because of the carvings that we are discovering here. This carving is the combination of geometry and some alphabet symbols. And the most known combination of the geometry and the science of alphabet is so-called runic symbols, runes. According to the mainstream science, they are about 2,500 years old, but according to independent scientists, at least 8,000 years old.
Energy phenomena. Measurements have detected unusual electromagnetic and ultrasonic energy emissions at the pyramid sites, leading to theories about their purpose related to energy harnessing or communication. A study published in ACTA Scientific Medical Sciences utilized the BioWell device with a specially designed environment energy sensor called the Sputnik to monitor the environment's parameters. The results indicated that the energy parameter of the sensor signal at several Bosnian complexes was significantly higher than outside the complexes, suggesting an anomalous energy presence.
Thanks to the technology of the PIP photography founder, Dr. Harry Oldfield, who personally came here in 2007, we realized that there is a big difference between ambiental fields of the natural hills, cities, and pyramids. One side The Pyramid Mountain, the natural mountain of Avala in Serbia has horizontal fields. The little village in western Serbia, horizontal fields. Pointy mountain in Bosnia, but natural horizontal fields. However, the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun, vertical fields, Sun Pyramid, vertical from different angles and different times. 2007, 2011, 2015, always vertical fields.
What if the energy emissions detected at the Bosnian pyramids are evidence of an ancient power source? Could these structures have been used for generating free energy similar to Tesla's theories? The mainstream archaeological and geological communities have largely dismissed Osmanagić's claims, labeling them as pseudoscience. Mainstream experts claim that the hills are natural formations known as flatirons, composed of layers of conglomerate, clay, and sandstone. These formations are common in the region and result from natural geological processes. The European Association of Archaeologists condemned Bosnian pyramids as a cruel hoax, expressing concerns about potential damage to genuine archaeological and paleontological sites, including medieval ruins and Roman artifacts. What if skeptics are dismissing the Bosnian pyramids due to bias rather than scientific reasoning? Could this be an example of how new discoveries are often resisted before being accepted as historical fact? Media coverage of the Bosnian pyramids has been mixed, with some outlets presenting Osmanagić's theories uncritically, while others have highlighted the lack of credible evidence supporting his claims. The controversy has drawn international attention, turning Visoko into a focal point for both tourism and scholarly debate. The site has become a tourist destination, attracting visitors intrigued by the pyramid claims. Bosnian Valley of the Pyramids represents the biggest complex of pyramidal structures in the world. Pyramids of Sun, Moon, and Dragon form perfect equilateral triangle with 2,170 meters or 7,119 feet distance between their tops. All pyramids are oriented toward the cosmic north. 55 leading scientists from 13 countries concluded during First International Scientific Conference on Bosnian Valley of the Pyramids in August 2008 that Bosnian pyramids are archaeological phenomenon and further scientific investigation is needed. Georadar and thermal analysis confirmed existence of passageways and chambers inside the pyramids. Sample analysis of rectangular blocks from the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun at institutes for materials in Bosnia, Italy, and France have confirmed that they were man-made as concrete blocks of exceptional quality. According to the radiocarbon dating conducted in 2011 in Poland and pedological analysis from 2006 in Bosnia, pyramids are built over 10,000 years ago. Underground labyrinth is tens of kilometers long and consists of passageways, chambers, and artificial lakes. The Pyramid of Sun, with its height of over 220 meters or 721 feet, the Bosnian Pyramid of Sun is the tallest pyramid in the world. It has regular pyramid geometry with 3 preserved sides, north, east, and west. It is coated by rectangular blocks. According to the Institutes for Materials from Bosnia-Herzegovina and Politecnico di Torino from Italy, blocks are made from the best quality concrete material, superior to modern concretes. According to the State Institute for Geodesy in 2006, northern side perfectly matches the cosmic north with the error of less than 1 degree. Slope of the pyramid sides to the base is at the 45 degrees. German geophysicists confirmed in 2007 existence of the inner passageways using georadar instruments. In 2010, Croatian physicists detected existence of the energy beam coming through the top of the pyramid, with the radius of 4.5 meters or 14 feet. Shadow of the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun covers Bosnian Pyramid of the Moon. During the summer months just before the sunset, showing clear astronomical relationship between two pyramids. This pyramid is covered by soil and vegetation, like hundreds of pyramids in China, Mexico, or Guatemala. According to the Federal Institute of Pedology, layers of soil that cover the pyramid is approximately 12,000 years old. It makes this pyramid oldest pyramid on the planet. Tens of thousands of tourists from all over the world are attracted by the pyramid discovery and its energy and spiritual properties. The Pyramid of Moon. With its height of 190 meters or 623 feet, the Pyramid of Moon is higher than the Great Pyramid of Egypt. It combines shaped sandstone blocks, tiles, and layers of clay, which was used as construction material in large quantities. Upper layer of sandstone is glued to the base of sandstone plates. Organic material has been discovered between two layers at the archaeological trench number 20 on western triangular pyramid side. Radiocarbon analysis performed by Institute for Physics of Silesian Institute for Technology in 2011 confirmed the age of organic material, 10,350 BC, plus or minus 50 years. This is scientific confirmation of exceptional age of the Bosnian Pyramid of the Moon, which is older than ancient Sumer, Babylon, and Egypt. Underground tunnels. Huge network of underground tunnels, intersections, chambers, and water accumulations was constructed under the Bosnian Valley of the pyramids. Discovery of the labyrinth was predicted by discoverer of the Bosnian pyramids Dr. Semir Osmanagić in his book in October 2005. He based it on similar cases in Egypt, China, and Mexico. Until then, narrow entrance and one tunnel were considered a natural cave. Persistently working, foundation has proved the existence of complex labyrinth tens of kilometers long. Distance from the entrance to the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun is 2.9 kilometers or 1.8 miles. Two cultural layers are visible: original builders of the labyrinth more than 12,000 years ago, and civilization who sealed off the tunnels and chambers 5,000 years ago.
This was the first drywall I actually excavated back in 2010. And there was a lot of discussion as to whether Dr. Sam was digging the tunnels himself and creating the drywalls back then in those days. And when I saw this drywall coming out of the loose material that we'd been excavating for the last, week or so, obviously it was impossible for Dr. Sam to have built that tunnel, replaced the fill material, and then let us reveal the drywall. So yeah, that was an interesting moment for me to see this particular drywall being revealed.
Why would someone go through all that effort to permanently seal off those tunnels and chambers? What's hidden underground? During the labyrinth building, thousands of tons of conglomerate material were moved out. It was later used as a construction material for concrete to coat the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun. There are no negative radiations in the labyrinth, cosmic, natural radioactivity, or negative energy from underground waters. Therefore, it represents one of the most secure locations on the planet, used for health protection. Air circulation is perfect, and it allows normal breathing all the way. Negative ions concentration is dozens of times higher than average. It would make atmosphere clean of bacteria and viruses, which would explain benefits to the human bodies inside this complex.
The big question is, who made this huge underground tunnel network? And the next one, who and why would brought so much material to seal off all the tunnels? Our first thought was that they wanted to close them because there was something very valuable. For archaeologists today, very valuable means that it's sarcophagus, or it's a mummy of the king, or it's some treasure, gold, diamonds, or similar. However, there is something much more important than treasure and that's technology. If you own the technology, you can get whatever you want. We realized that this is a huge tunnel network, maybe even 100 kilometers in length. So far we have cleared 2.1 kilometers. It's a huge job in front of us. We realized also that there is an energy flow in the tunnels. Flow that goes all the way to the pyramid, going through 7 levels of tunnels and then going through the very top as the energy beam. Now, in a case when we close the tunnels, that flow stops and the pyramid, from very strong and active energy machine, becomes very weak machine. In the time when this pyramid was in original shape, it was very strong. But now, without the pyramidion, which is missing from the top, with the one side almost completely destroyed, the southern side, without, as far as I would say, a potential device inside or below the pyramid, and finally with all the tunnels closed, this is the weak machine which cannot affect the surrounding areas like during the original times.
What if the tunnels beneath the pyramids contain hidden artifacts or knowledge from an advanced prehistoric culture? Could this be the key to unlocking forgotten wisdom and rewriting history? The claims surrounding the Bosnian pyramids have been a subject of significant debate within the scientific community. Anthony Harding, professor of archaeology at Exeter University, and then president of the European Association of Archaeologists, visited the site and found no evidence of anything that is man-made. He stated, "The whole thing is a total absurdity. There is no evidence that any of the structures are man-made. They are all natural." Robert M. Schoch, a geologist and associate professor of natural science at Boston University, also inspected the site. He concluded that the formations were entirely natural and accused the workers of carving the hillside to make impressions of stepped sides on the so-called Pyramid of the Moon. Schoch emphasized that the blocks identified by Osmanagich were natural layers of sedimentary rock. What if mainstream archaeology is wrong, and a lost civilization once thrived in Bosnia thousands of years before recorded history? Could this challenge everything we think we know about early human development? Dr. Semir Osmanagić challenges mainstream academia's dismissal of the Bosnian pyramids, stating that many critics have never visited the site, let alone conducted sampling, lab tests, or radiocarbon dating to support their claims. According to Osmanagich, Zahi Hawass, a leading Egyptologist, refused multiple invitations to Bosnia, yet still declared no pyramids in Bosnia. His reasoning? The impossibility of moving 40-ton blocks, despite Egyptian obelisks weighing up to 1,650 tons being transported in antiquity. Osmanagich notes that Dr. Mike Hayworth, UK, and Professor Hermann Parzinger, Germany, labeled the project a cruel hoax without ever visiting the site. Dr. Robert Schoch, USA, claimed Osmanagich started the project for political ambitions, yet after nearly 2 decades, no such engagement has occurred. Osmanagich also mentioned skepticism from alternative researchers like Andrew Collins, David Hatcher Childress, and Graham Hancock, yet points out Hancock's statement that there's no good evidence for a lost civilization may no longer apply, because, as he says, it's not lost anymore. He stresses that science is based on evidence, not opinions. His team, he explains, unearthed precision-cut sandstone plates, forming terraced structures beneath layers of soil, contradicting claims of natural geological formations. Nature does not cut, transport, and perfectly align blocks into pyramid-like structures, Osmanagich asserts, referring to the Bosnian Pyramid of the Moon, which stands 190 meters, 630 feet tall. Osmanagich describes how layers of stone blocks bound by clay demonstrate ancient engineering knowledge, Unlike conventional archaeological projects, he emphasizes, this site is independent, beyond elite control, and driven solely by discovery. The real problem, Osmanagich concludes, they don't come. And if they do, they never test. They just give opinions, and opinions mean nothing in science. Several scientists and researchers have examined the Bosnian Pyramids, offering diverse perspectives on their origins and potential significance. In 2006, Egyptian geologist Ali Abdullah Barakat initially suggested the formations might be natural hills modified by humans. By 2007, he stated that nature does not create pyramidal shapes, though his findings remained inconclusive. French materials scientist Joseph Davidovits analyzed samples and proposed that some stone blocks might be ancient concrete, suggesting advanced construction techniques, though his theories are not widely accepted. Egyptian archaeologist Nabil Swalim observed the site's regular shape and advocated for further study, but did not reach definitive conclusions. Italian anthropologist Dr. Paolo De Bertolis detected ultrasonic frequencies at the site, suggesting the pyramids may have been designed for energy transmission or communication. Croatian physicist Dr. Slobodan Mizdrak measured energy beams emitted from the Pyramid of the Sun, proposing they could be evidence of ancient energy technology. Russian scientist Dr. Konstantin Korotkov found unusual energy fields and high concentrations of negative ions in the tunnels, which he suggested might have healing properties. Egyptian archaeologist Dr. Mohammed Ibrahim compared the structures to Egyptian pyramids, noting similarities and calling for deeper archaeological research. Russian researcher Dr. Valery Uvarov linked the pyramids to a global network of ancient sites, suggesting they were built with advanced energy knowledge. British biologist Dr. Harry Oldfield used imaging technology to detect energy anomalies, which he interpreted as evidence of artificial construction. While mainstream science remains skeptical, these researchers highlight the need for further investigation into the Bosnian Pyramids' true origins and purpose. Their findings have been shared through interviews, publications, and conferences, contributing to the ongoing debate about the origins and purpose of these enigmatic formations. Despite these perspectives, the prevailing consensus in the mainstream scientific community is that the Bosnian Pyramids are natural formations, and claims of their authenticity as ancient man-made structures lack credible evidence. The European Association of Archaeologists has condemned the Pyramid Project as a cruel hoax, emphasizing the lack of credible evidence supporting the existence of man-made pyramids in the area. But what if the Bosnian Pyramids are genuine ancient structures, and mainstream archaeology refuses to accept them due to established historical narratives and institutional bias? What if mainstream archaeology dismisses the Bosnian Pyramids for the same reasons it initially rejected Göbekli Tepe, because acknowledging them would force a major rewrite of human history and challenge long-held academic beliefs? The Bosnian Pyramids remain one of the most controversial archaeological claims of modern times. Despite the scientific skepticism, the site has attracted global interest, with ongoing excavations, reports of unusual energy phenomena, and growing tourism. Whether these formations are truly man-made or a remarkable quirk of nature, the Bosnian Pyramids continue to fuel debate, intrigue, and a quest for answers about humanity's distant past.
My name is Dr. Semir Osmanagić. For the last 45 years, I've been researching pyramid and megalithic sites around the world. My PhD is about the Mayan pyramids in Central America. Back in April of 2005, I discovered the Bosnian Pyramids. And in the last 2 decades, it has become the most active archaeological site in the world. So far, we have proven that we have a complex of at least 6 pyramids and huge network of underground tunnels that were built in prehistoric times, and so far we have discovered 7 entrances to those tunnels. We've done a number of radiocarbon dating and uranium-thorium analysis. The result, this complex is more than 30,000 years old. The biggest pyramid in Bosnia, the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun, is 368 meters in height, according to the most sophisticated LiDAR measurements. The Great Pyramid of Egypt, 146.5, meaning the Bosnian Pyramid is 2.5 times higher than the Great Pyramid of Egypt. Obviously much older than official date of Egyptian pyramids of 4,500 years. Orientation to the north of the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun is the most precise on the planet. According to the State Institute of Geodesy, error from the perfect coast north is 0 degrees, 0 minutes, and only 12 seconds. The Bosnian pyramids, same like Mexican, Chinese, Indonesian, Cambodian, or Guatemalan, are covered by soil and vegetation. Forest was planted back in 1960s and 1970s, but its regular geometry of 4-sided pyramid is very clear and obvious. 1 meter below the soil, we are finding a structure. We are finding rectangular and square blocks in several layers. We have analyzed the material at 7 institutes for the materials in Italy, France, Czech Republic, Slovakia, and Bosnia, and they all told us it was the artificially made concrete of the best quality. So it was proof after proof that we have pyramid complex in Bosnia. But it hasn't been so easy from the very beginning. Matter of fact, back in 2005, at that time I lived in Houston, Texas, I went to the University of Sarajevo, Department of Archaeology, and offered them to collaborate in a future research. They refused, saying they know every square meter of Bosnia, there were no pyramids. Unfortunately, we don't know 90% of what is covered in Bosnia. I went to the National Museum. They told me we never had pharaohs, therefore we cannot have pyramids. I realized those people live in the 19th century. So I established non-profit, non-government foundation under the name Archaeological Park Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun Foundation, and then we started excavation. We got permissions from the Ministry of Culture, and by now it has become also the most exciting project. Hey, the first pyramids in Europe, the biggest on the planet, the most precise orientation on the planet, the best quality concrete on the planet, the most extensive underground tunnel network on the planet, and now the oldest pyramids of the planet, and every element changes human history forever. A lot of obstacles, a lot of attacks. First, from all Bosnian archaeologists, historians, geologists, museum curators, Ministry of Culture. They wanted to start the project from day one. When they did not succeed, they asked the help from the European Archaeological Association. They were issuing statements against us. Then archaeologists from UK, France, Poland, Germany, Croatia, Serbia, Bosnia, United States, Egypt. You know, when you realize that so many people from the mainstream science want to stop you, probably there is something big. Plus, they control Wikipedia, National Geographic, Encyclopedia Britannica, Smithsonian, and all other media, or better to say, propaganda. They wanted to keep certain narrative, and that is that pyramids are built in Egypt or Mexico, but in fact, they were built in more than 30 countries on 6 continents, and that those pyramids in Egypt were used as tombs for the pharaohs. Again, wrong. I have checked 155 pyramids in Egypt, not a single one has a mummy. Or the Mexican pyramids being the places to sacrifice the enemy Again, wrong. Only in the case of Aztecs, but not Mayan, Olmecs, Mextecs, and the others. So now, when we determine that we have a huge pyramid complex in Bosnia, what is the next step? Let's see what was the real purpose. For that, only archaeologists and classical sciences like geology, paleontology, Egyptology cannot help us. We needed true scientists. We need people with the scientific instruments, experts in energy phenomena, like physicists, quantum physicists, nuclear physicists, engineers, electrical engineers, sound engineers, telecommunication engineers, medical doctors, geophysicists. We have proven that the Bosnian Pyramids actually amplified natural sources of energy. And then this energy can be used for some very concrete and practical purposes. Which energy they amplify? Below the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun, for example, there is a huge iron plate which generates electromagnetic field. Pyramid pulls this field up, amplifying it. How do we know? Because we have measured at the base and at the top. At the top, the signal is 50 times stronger. Below the Bosnian Pyramids, underground water flows. Water moves, releases beneficial negative ions. The pyramid amplifies those negative ions. The next one, a lot of quartz crystals we discovered during the excavation on the pyramid and in the tunnels. Quartz crystal has the ability to amplify the energy and to transform one form of the energy, electromagnetic field, which we already measure, through the piezoelectrical effect to another form, ultrasound. We measure 28 kHz frequency of the ultrasound, which is the levitation frequency. So now we have the energy, what you can use them for. On the top of the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun, we discovered energy beam, which is 28 kHz frequency, electrical in nature, ultrasound in nature. It moves up and it's getting stronger as it moves away from the pyramid. In science, this phenomenon is called scalar waves. They are ideal media to transport the energy, to transport the information. The Bosnian Pyramids are exceptional project because it is not run by the government, by the museums, by departments of archaeology, by people who can be influenced by the elites. It is run by the independent, non-profit foundation, by one little man who don't care about the pressure they are putting on us. There are many of them. We don't need to mention them because it would mean that we go on lower vibrations. We need to stay above high vibration, search for the real truth of human history. The Bosnian Pyramid project is the most exciting project in the world of archaeology today. Why? Because he had the only one who offered the opportunity to regular, normal, good intentional people, no matter their education, to come, to join the research, to dig with us, to uncover ancient concrete, to find organic material, to find some of the prehistorical tunnels, to find artifacts. So people become a big family. Bosnia is not so far, and our project is accepting volunteers from June, July, August, September until the second half of October. When people go back their homes, they want to come back as soon as possible and feel the energy of the place.
Thank you for watching, and hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. We really hope you subscribe, and if you'd like to be notified of future releases, just hit the bell button. Leave a comment. Let us know what your thoughts are on all of this and what topics you'd like to explore in our future videos.